Black love is something that needs to be really highlighted because it's not highlighted enough. You know, obviously you see black people when they have, you know, struggles and, you know, what the hardships they're going to, so you don't really get to kind of see genuine black love between people.
We're in love and we're black, and
right.
We know a lot of people like us that are in love and they're black.
Yep.
But we don't see ourselves anywhere when it comes to black love appreciation. So we wanted to create a show where we just highlight and appreciate black love in all of its forms. Really not all of its forms, but its alternative form or its LGBTQIA plus form.
Expectations, absolutely. Like if we're gonna be together, like I want you to be, I want you to be faithful. Like I expect that. Like I think that anybody, not anybody, but I feel like any person that doesn't want to be cheated on, like expects for that person to, or you know, like, or if we're gonna do other things, like we should communicate about that. So I expect you to like communicate with me and like, you know, always keep me in the loop. Like I expect you to communicate with me. You know, do I think that it's gonna happen? No, it might not happen overnight. It might be something that we might have to work through because some people are not good communicators. I'm not a good communicator when I'm in my feelings. So like I can grow to be a good communicator, you know, with the right person. But honestly and truly, the only thing that I expect from my partner is to always keep it real. You know, like I want them to keep it real because that's one thing that I do. Like I keep it real. So I want them to always just be honest, because when you start lying and all that and you lie about this or you lie about that, it makes me wonder what else are you lying about, you know? Like is that even your real name type shit? You feel me? Like
Yes. I expect her to, one, be very accountable of her and aware of herself and her own actions. I expect her to be honest. I expect her to be very supportive of my career. I expect her to be very supportive and understanding of my transition. And I expect her to constantly be trying to grow, whether it be within herself, whether it be within our relationship, whether it be within whatever we got going on. Once we together, your life can't stop with just me. Like, you got your life, I got my life, and we got our life together. And I just need us to be on the same page and you pushing for the best with all three. And we good.
Yes, when it comes to my future partner, I just want you to be ready for the ride. I definitely, when I say have it together, I don't mean have everything perfect, because no one does. We all go through our up and down months. But I want you to have the mindset that even in your down months, you're going to come up. Like it's not the end. You're not going to roll over. I have expectations that you'll be honest with me and you'll be transparent. I'll have expectations that when I tell you who I am and put it on the table, that you take it and listen before you make your decision, and not take it and be like, well, I could change these things once we start dating, because then you're going to run into problems. So those are my biggest expectations.
I try not to have any expectations. The main expectations in my future partner would just be to communicate, be honest. That's the main thing I preach, is just talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what's on your mind. And be respectful, because I'm going to be loyal, I'm going to be faithful, I'm going to respect you as a woman, as a person, as a partner. I expect the same things in return. So that's the main thing that I would be expecting.
Yes, that you embrace me for all that I am, because you can't be my partner if you don't. You're not hiding me. I expect you to support me in my dreams and my career. I expect you to respect me. I expect you to stand up and defend me. I expect you to stand up and defend yourself. I expect you to walk in your truth. And that sounds very deep, but it's not that deep. And yeah, I expect you to love me, especially if I'm loving you.
The expectations I have of my future partner are to be loyal, to love me, to have my back, to be protective, to be just what I need in somebody else. I feel like I'm a complete person on my own, but to have an extra somebody would be nice.
I hate expectations. Like I said, man, when you're getting to know a person, I don't feel like you can have expectations all like that. You know what I'm saying? Allow people to be them, because when you have expectations, that's what start to make things uncomfortable, and it start to make people shy away from being who they are because they're trying to fulfill these expectations that you have when that's not them. You know what I'm saying? Take the time to really learn someone or whatnot, and then you'll know whether the things that you need and the things that you want are there for you in that specific relationship.
Oh, when it comes to future partners, I've learned to have realistic expectations. So I'm not expecting anything more or anything less than them being human.
Like I said, I want them to be honest. I want them to have goals. I want them to add happiness to my life and not try to bring me down. Yeah, I just want someone who is going to be genuine, especially genuine for me. I just want someone who will be willing to work with me on, my issues and work on their issues and be open-minded, things like that.
I have expectations, yes. My expectation is that person is going to be 100% themselves 100% of the time. And the other expectation I have is that person is going to accept me for who I am without trying to change me and make me who they want me to be. I want the person to be able to be as dedicated as I am willing to be. And, honestly, I just want a person to actually also be into me as much as I'm into them. And we are able to, make the dedication to, go down the path together to be able to be successful in a relationship. So my expectation is to have somebody that has the same desires, wants that I have, and we can actually embark upon a journey together.
Expectations are a lot in general. So no, I don't have any expectations on anybody coming through, you know what I mean? But as a partner, my future partner, communication is important. So I hope that she knows how to communicate her feelings clearly, because that'll get us far.
When it comes to my future partner, I try not to expect too much. The only thing I expect is that you give me what I give you. If I give you some negative energy and you feeling some kind of way, okay, then that makes sense. But if I'm giving you all of me and everything's good, I just expect you to give me all of you as well. It doesn't matter, what problems you have. I got problems, you got problems. It doesn't matter. As long as we giving each other complete, communication is key. Communication, as long as we have that, we good.
Yes, my expectations would be he at least has to have a car, has his own house, some independence, at least a job with some income coming in. And like I said, a good personality, make me laugh, have a little bit of faith. We should be straight. Yes, we should get it popping.
Of course, I do. I have no doubt that I will find my soulmate. But I just don't feel like at this particular time it's my time. But I do believe in my heart and soul that when I'm ready, that person's gonna be right there waiting on me.
I hope so. I got faith that she's out there. I just feel like maybe we ain't connected. We might have crossed the paths in Walmart at the wrong time. I don't know. Somebody's out there. It's 1,000,000-something women in the world.
Yeah, I think it's promising. I think it's very promising.
It's a possibility. It's a strong possibility that I'll meet someone. Am I currently searching? No. But I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that can meet those expectations.
I don't know. I hope so. I have some hope, but realistically, based on my experiences right now, no. But I hope so. I really do. Because I would love to be in love. I've never had a boyfriend, so I don't even know what that's like to have a boyfriend. I don't know what it's like to have someone that genuinely loves you, especially as an adult now. So, you experience that little puppy love when you're a kid, but what is like full-grown eros love feel like? I don't know yet. So, I don't know. We'll see.
I really don't know if I meet somebody who meets those expectations. I hope so. But we plan and God plans, and God is the better planner.
Man, I like to think that if I'm here, I'm gonna meet exactly what I'm looking for. That's how I like to think about it, because I am a person who I don't feel like you have to be a certain this or certain that. I just feel like I go off energy and vibes. If I vibe with you, then shit, there's no telling what can happen or how far things can go if we got that type of chemistry. To me, it's not all about looks. It's not all about what you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot about what's up here and what's in here. And so, man, if those two things connect, then it can go wherever.
I think I have met someone that meets those expectations, yeah.
I think so. I definitely think so. I think I would meet someone. I know there's someone that's genuine out there. I would have to find them or they would have to find me.
I absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, think that I will find somebody to meet the expectation. I do. I think that there are people out there who want to find happiness. I think that people out there who want to be dedicated, who want to invest, and who want to create memories and want to develop a partnership. I think there's people out there who understands the importance of building a foundation, and there's people out there that are willing to put in the work and to be patient in order to get to the point where you need to get to be successful. So yes, I do think that I would be able to meet somebody who meets all of those expectations. Absolutely.
This day and age, there's so many women right now going through their childhood trauma at like 35, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I hope so. But I've done a lot of work, and I hope I can find another person that's done the same amount, you know?
I think I would. I think I will. I just gotta get a little bit more in the dating scene. And I think that eventually the right person will come when the time is right. But I think he's out there somewhere in these streets.
I feel like my high expectations have saved me from a lot of shit. Like, to be honest, like the fact that I don't put up with certain shit anymore that I used to put up with has saved me a lot of heartache, because when I used to be this person that was afraid to say no, afraid, like I was really like a mouse, like I didn't have a backbone. Before I got my backbone, I used to get hurt a lot. So, I didn't, I feel like raising my expectations and like learning how to love myself a little better by just staying single, and just taking that time to, learn me, to work on me. I feel like it's really like saved me, because like, when I fall, like for people, I just like, I fall like deep, real deep.
No. I think having high expectations for low quality people have. Meaning I might feel like this person is really great, and again, I see this great version of this person, because they might be beautiful, or they might be this, or they might be that, but in reality, they have some issues within their personality that is like so below my standard or anyone's standard of what is acceptable that it offsets all that good.
Yes, definitely. I don't think I ever lowered my expectations, and I don't think I ever had stopped having any at all. But I definitely had to get to a place where I had to know that, and the most blunt way I could say it is, I'm not all peaches and roses either. So it's like, if I constantly put these unattainable expectations on people for every day that they do things or every way that they move, I am always going to fail, because we're not always at our best. So I've started to have expectations that are more about what brings me peace and less about what makes the list and checks off on it.
I mean, I guess some people would consider my expectations high, because I think a lot of men in my experience feel like it's a process and I have to wait on them in their process and when they feel ready. And so for them, my expectations are high because it's a right now expectation. But for me, it's not high. And if you can't meet it, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. So, I mean, maybe to them, if I was more patient and gave them more grace to figure it all out, maybe then, but I ain't got time for that. Baby, come ye ready.
I do not think high expectations have like affected my expectations of relationship, because honestly, I feel like my expectations aren't high enough. I feel like for me, I expect little out of people so that I don't get disappointed when they don't do more. And so like some people are like, oh, you should date these type of guys, you should date this type of guy. Well, these type of guys only want to date these type of guys. So if I'm not that type of guy, I don't want to like fuck myself up. Like, I don't want my self-esteem to be shot. I'm trying to keep it at level 9. He's trying to drop it back down to a 6. That won't do for me.
I think the lack of expectations has affected the success in my relationship. I don't, because like I said, I don't have high expectations, and I think that's kind of where I get messed up, because I so much want somebody to just accept me for who I am. I tend to accept people for who they are, and the things that they lack, I find a way to satisfy myself in those areas, and that's really not how it's supposed to be or whatever. So, and that's why I said, man, it's like a catch-22. I don't want to have expectations, but at the same time, you have to know what you want. You really have to know what you want is what I feel. So, yeah, the lack of expectations has really affected me more so than anything else.
I think expecting more out of a person when you already know how they are, you're just setting yourself up to be let down. I feel like if you already know how a person is, it depends on how long y'all been talking. Don't box them into high expectations or low expectations. Just let them show you. I don't want anyone to have any type of expectations for me, because I don't want to let people down. And when I show them the real me, I don't want them to paint this picture of me, and then when I show them, it's not who they painted me to be. So it's not my fault, it's their fault.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I kind of hit on this, before when I talked about, possibly that maybe my list or maybe my desires were too outlandish, or, I had a list that was too long and expecting individuals to check all the boxes. And what I realized is I had to really go back to the drawing board, and I kept those preferences. I kept those desires. I kept those wants. But what I had to do was I had to look at my list of things that I desire and decide amongst this list, what can I absolutely do without, and what are absolute deal breakers that I must have. And, and it really kind of minimized the things that, that I was looking for in individuals. Because now when I talk about dating and what I want, my list isn't so long, because I separate, the list between things that I prefer and things that I must have. So the preferences are just that, preferences. I'll give you an example. I think that height is sexy. I'm not the tallest guy, but I'm not the shortest guy. I would consider myself average. I'm 5'9" and some change, so if we round up, I would say 5'10". But I think that a taller guy is sexy. I think that, anybody over 6 feet, if I could look up at my dude and everything, to me that's sexy, because it gives a sense of I don't want to say masculinity, because it has nothing to do with the way the person acts, but I think that you can kind of understand where I'm going with that. I like to feel that sense of security where it's just like, oh, I'm dealing with a dude, you know what I mean? But it's not a deal breaker. I can be with somebody who is shorter than me. I could be with somebody my height. So things like that, and I think that those things, kind of teeter on physical attributes that are just preferences, but there aren't deal breakers at all. Personality aspects are things that are more so deal breakers with me, because you can't really change a person, so yeah.
Absolutely. I used to have high expectations, and because of that, the only person that really ended up hurt was me, and I did it to myself. So that's why I don't have no expectations no more. Like, you will show me who you are, trust me, and I'm gonna believe it as soon as you do. I'm not about to coach you into a better person. I'm just gonna accept you just the way you are. And if I can't, I'm out. Ain't got time.
I definitely feel like I have high expectations. And I don't mean to have high expectations, but you got to be clean. Like, certain things ain't gonna fly. Like, you got to be clean, and a lot of people ain't clean. You'd be surprised how many females I go to their crib and they not really clean like that. You know, some females don't like to take showers. You know, I gotta have expectations. Okay, I gotta have. Hey, you gotta shower, you gotta clean, and you gotta be fit.
I think so. Because I guess I don't feel like I'm asking for like too much, you know? But I feel like some guys, they be like, oh no, this bitch is crazy as hell or some shit. But it's not even that. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page and we're having the same goals and drive together.
I would say personally that my standards are honestly too low at this point. Like, even though I feel like they're really high for the average person, they might be high, but honestly and truly, I really feel like I should raise them a little bit higher, you know, because I run through some bullshit, you know, that I shouldn't run through. Like, you know, because I feel like I connect with people based off their spirits, and, you know, you're a good person. You might not, you know, hurt me this way, but like, you do certain things that I just don't fuck with, you know what I'm saying? And I should have better expectations, you know, for myself when it comes to situations like that. Like, when I get there, like, oh dang, just because you're a good person, you know, doesn't mean that you're the person for me, you know? Like, I can give an example if we have time. Okay, example number 1. I was talking to this person and they're a really cool person or whatever, but I feel like if I'm talking to you, like, in any instant, like, if, you know, because I consider myself bisexual, if I'm talking to a man, I feel like at all instances, no matter what, like, if I tell a man that I'm hungry, you should do something about it. Period. So if I'm talking to you and I'm just like, you know, I'm hungry, and like, you're not making the initiative to like try to feed me, like, bye. Because I feel like that's bare minimum.
I feel like in the past they may have been too low. I feel like now my standards are just right.
I'd say right now my standards are just right. Like, I'm not willing to waver on them. I feel like I have went through the roller coaster of them being too low and then being very excessive, and I feel like right now is where I'm not willing to bend or break. So I feel like right now they're just right.
I don't believe my expectations are high at all. I just think that people are who they are, and shit, they don't meet my expectations. I don't think my expectations are high. I don't ask for much.
For me, just right. But it depends on the person that have to meet those standards, I guess. But for me, just right.
I would say my standards are too low because what I've realized more so in my recent dating is that I deserve better. And I'm happy that I have encountered women who have made me feel and know that I deserve better.
I feel like my expectations aren't high enough, honestly, because I feel like I just don't set anything. I'm not very strict. I don't have any, you know, I want what I know what I want in a person, but I'm just not so strict on it. So I feel like no, because my expectations aren't very high.
I think that my standards are just right for me. And I say that because I've had to modify my standards many times. I can tell you that my standards at one point were extremely high, where I had high expectations, but I felt like my standards was high because they could be. You know, when you're selecting a partner or selecting someone to date, you know, we can dictate what we'll accept and what we don't accept. And so, you know, I would have things that I wanted, so I would, you know, mentally create the perfect partner, and I would go out and look for that person. They had to be this, they had to be that, they had to have this, they had to have that. But again, that was the past, you know. Now I understand that there is no such thing as the perfect person, but there is a perfect person that exists for me. And so there's a big difference, and understanding the difference between somebody perfect and somebody being perfect for you, that will actually help you out when it comes to finding a successful, healthy relationship?
My current standards may be a little low. Just because, when you get your heart broken, you like, everybody ain't shit. So I know that, and it gives people room to, over exceed my quote unquote expectations, but I've learned not to pressure the situation though, because my previous relationship, I did, she did, and we all both tried to be somebody we not, right? So I don't want that to happen again.
I think it's just right. I'm not asking for too much. I'm not asking you to be a billionaire or something like that. I'm just saying let's have communication, talk, get to know each other, and grow together. That's it. Pretty much.
I'm single because I settle for less than I deserve in the past. Like I say, when I fall for people, I fall hard. So it's like I've dealt with a lot of stuff that I know I shouldn't have no business dealing with. It's sometimes like when you're in a space when you really feel like you care about somebody and you think that, this is the best situation that you might find yourself in, like you might settle, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it all depends on how you feel about yourself, you know what I'm saying? So like, the more you love yourself, the better chances you have to finding a partner that will love you just like that,
I've done it a couple times. I have settled for it a couple times. And I feel like each experience, it was a different reason for it. Some of those women I dated in a time frame where I was really trying to find and get adjusted with myself. So I couldn't expect myself to have a high standard when I still was trying to figure out what my standards for who I am even were. Some of those were I was in a dark and lonely place. So I accepted certain shit that if I was, perfectly fine, I might not have been. But because I might have been hurting, because I might have been feeling like I was under a lot of pressure and I just needed somebody that understood, and really supported me and had my back. Because at the end of the day, anyone you date, they're your friend, right? So sometimes it's not even that you're settling too low because you just want to have that person around. Sometimes you settle because you value the friendship aspect of the person that's within the relationship.
For almost like 5-6 years of my dating life. And I think definitely the beginning was just all about being new to the LGBT world. You're still trying to figure out like you're still trying to figure out like, is this a part of this world? Do I have to accept certain things to gain or keep love? And then you go, once you dust off and you get like kind of less of a rookie in the game, then you start to figure out, okay, what makes me happy? Because I always say, coming out is a constant thing. Because when you either learn about the gay world from a very young age or when you learn later in the game. And I didn't learn too late, but I learned later in the game. So I didn't go through high school and I didn't talk to my peers about, what's it like being gay? Or I didn't, get a whole bunch of vast information off of TV, how they have it now. So it was like, I didn't really know what to expect stepping into this world. So I took a lot of stuff that I probably would have never took if I was heterosexual. So now I feel like I've dusted and I paid my dues and it's no more of the accepting list.
All the time. I've settled plenty of times. I've probably settled way too many times. Why? I guess being lonely, I guess. I think that's the only way to really summarize it. Just being alone, being bored, and then you just settle for whatever's thrown at you.
More often than none, because like I said, I think you condition yourself to think that only one type of person can be attracted to you. And when you continue to give that kind of energy, that's the kind of energy that circles back in time and time again. So
I think I've settled for less than what I deserve in the past a lot because historically I haven't felt like I deserved or was worthy of having more, and people treated me like I wasn't deserving of having more. I think it's only recently that I've begun to assert and attest that I worked hard for this and I deserve it and I'm going to have it.
Too motherfucking often. And probably because I didn't know how fucking awesome I was. I tend to downplay myself a lot. When people compliment me on certain things, I be like, you know, whatever. I do what I can do when I can do it. People hear me say that a lot. I do what I can do when I can do it. Or whatever, and never really acknowledging that I am. I'm dope as fuck. I'm chill, you know, I am thoughtful and I am considerate and I'm loving and I'm romantic, you know, and I try to be there however I can for people. And then because I don't have expectations of people, then it's like if they're not doing this or that, then it's like, yeah, okay, well, it's cool because, you know, they just don't do this or that or whatnot. When at the end of the day, we all want somebody who's going to reciprocate the things that we project. And so I think I've fallen short on being able to accept what I give.
So I did settle. It was this one time where I had went off. I was in the military for 6 years. So I was off in another state, and I had seen my girlfriend at the time. She had got into a relationship with somebody else while I was away. And I'm just telling y'all all the tea. So I had hit her up. I tried to call her. She was declining my calls and everything. So when she finally hit me back, she told me that she got into a relationship with somebody else. And when I finally got back to Georgia, she ended up cheating on the girl with me. So, and I ended up spending my whole damn military check on her. So, yeah, I never do that again, though.
How often? Very often. I've settled for a lot of people that did not deserve me at all. Because as I said, I give my all, and a lot of people don't. They use that and to their advantage, and they think that they can use people, and so I
don't settle. I absolutely don't settle. I don't settle. You know, I know my worth. I've been hurt before. I've been the one who provided the hurt, you know, so I'm not perfect. So understanding, you know, both ends of the spectrum and being on both sides of the fence, you know, I try to find that happy medium where, you know, I don't accept any bullshit. You know, I am at the point where I spent a lot of time really getting to know who I was and really falling in love with me. And having that sense of love and adoration for myself, I'm not going to put myself in a position to allow anybody to treat me any less than I deserve. So because I put myself up on a pedestal to the point where I'm like, I know that I'm a great guy. I know that I have a lot to offer. So why am I going to put myself in a position where I allow myself to receive bullshit or receive anything less than I was ordained to receive in my life? So no, without a shadow of a doubt, I have not settled for anything less than I deserve. And I think that, again, that has come with maturity, experience, and also wisdom.
Way too often. And, you know, when I really think about it, the reason why is because I've always wanted somebody on my side, you know what I mean? Just having my back, you know? So I really get caught up with women who play that role in my life, you know, but I don't need a parent. I don't need a cheerleader. I need a woman that's going to tell me the truth about myself so I can make myself better. And that opportunity was robbed from me because of, you know, not really paying attention to the things that actually matter, which is, do we have chemistry? Can we communicate? And am I attracted to you? It's just like that. Not what you're doing, not what you're saying about me, not what you do for me, none of that other bullshit. But, you know, can we rock together? Do our energies match?
I feel like in the past I've definitely settled for less. I'm not really sure why, maybe just not really knowing. Because, like, these days I'm just now really truly learning myself. In the past I really didn't know myself, so maybe I was just settling just to, I don't know, maybe just didn't really know. Just attracted, and that's pretty much all I knew. But now, since I have a better outlook on everything, I can look back and say that I have just settled for some situations that wasn't even necessary to be in.
Yes, back in the past with my past relationship, I felt like I settled for less because I was still learning, who I am, who I was going to be. Um, but I know now, never again. Keep it pushing, know who you are, and do your thing. Yeah.
If my future spouse was watching right now, I would want to tell them to hurry the fuck up. I am not getting any younger, and where are you? Like, come on. I'm a good guy. Like, I'm great. We can do this together. Help me conquer the world.